Fedelina, A Stolen Life, is a powerful ABS-CBN documentary that tells the harrowing yet inspiring story of Fedelina Lugasan. Brought to the US at just 16 years old by her Filipino-American employers, Fedelina was subjected to decades of unpaid labor, abuse, and isolation, serving four generations of the same family without legal documentation or personal freedom. The documentary traces her journey from her early life in Samar through her years of exploitation and to her eventual rescue in 2018 by the Filipino Workers Center with assistance from the U.S. law enforcement. Despite the trauma she endured, Fidelina chose to forgive her abusers and became an advocate against human trafficking, encouraging others to speak out and seek help. Tragically, she passed away in June 2020 due to COVID-19, but her story continues to resonate as a symbol of resilience and hope. The film not only sheds light on the ongoing issue of human trafficking, but also emphasizes the importance of community support and legal intervention in combating such injustices. It has received international acclaim, winning the Silver World Medal at the 2021 New York Festival TV and Film Awards and being named as the national winner for Best Documentary Program at the 2021 Asian Academy Creative Awards. Despite the film's success and the accolades it has earned, it's important to acknowledge the ethical concerns it may have raised in telling Nanay Fidelina's story. In this video, we will explore the moral dilemmas and ethical issues encountered in the production of this award-winning documentary.
In the documentary film Fedelina, A Stolen Life, it presented various ethical issues that revolve around the exploitation of an individual and highly sensitive portrayal of trauma. In retrospect, the ethical issue or dilemma faced exposing the victims to relive the traumas and the challenge of accurate representation. It is no doubt that reporting on traumatic experiences in one's life can inadvertently re-aggravate the trauma. However, there is a need for accurate and authentic representation of such experiences, especially to cases such as human trafficking victims. Media portrayal has a significant influence on public perception, which is why making responsible depiction is very crucial. The ethical dilemmas were not resolved entirely. However, the filmmakers, along with the writers, made sure to approach the subject with sensitivity and care. The documentary was able to authentically portray the lived experiences by highlighting the individual's resilience and strength rather than focusing on their victimization, while also minimizing or avoiding the risk of aggravating their lived trauma.
Now let's move on with the ethical consideration which is upheld in Nanay Fidelina's story. Her story doesn't just tell her personal experiences, but also tackles the issues about modern-day slavery and human trafficking, which basically violates all of the general ethical principles. First is do no harm or non-maleficence. This principle was clearly violated when her trafficker caused her physical, emotional, and psychological trauma. She was denied food for an instance and isolated from the world for many years. This action directly goes against its principle or ethical duty to avoid harming others. Next is beneficent. Her employer failed to give her basic or proper treatment as they should in the very beginning. She was not compensated for her many years of service, and her basic needs was clearly ignored. Next is honesty and integrity. This ethical principle was upheld during the legal process when Nani Fidelinas was rescued. Investigation and trials were conducted, and her former employer was called up to court. The documentary used true and verified information from documents, experiences, and personal testimonies from all the person involved, creates a credible yet a depicting narrative of her story. Next is justice. Justice was partially served in Nanay Fidelina's situation because although it was brought up to court and investigation ensued, the punisher or the trafficker was not yet punished. And yet, although no punishment can undo the decades that she lost in her life, but it raised awareness and helped prevent similar abuses. Lastly, autonomy, Nanay Fidelina's freedom was taken away from her for many years. Not being able to make her own decisions or live a life on her own terms for most of her life proves autonomy was clearly violated. But the documentary ensured its credibility, integrity, by chasing its the documentary ensured its credibility and integrity by basing its narrative on verified records and testimonies, its retrospective approach in investigating the root cause of the problem, such as the biography and her experiences from the Philippines up to her abduction in the United States, aligned in upholding data integrity. An ethical consideration which include honesty and accurate data collection for analyzing ethical issues in today's world.
One of the primary ethical considerations overlooked was the potential of relapse of the trauma through the emotionally intense storytelling. Nani Fedelina's story may be powerful, but there were times that it was presented with a tone that focused on pathos, evoking public sympathy. Ethical journalism demands that survivors of abuse be portrayed with dignity and not just a mere case study of such traumatic events. The reason for not fully observing this consideration likely stems from the intention to create emotional impact and increase public engagement. In doing so, the production may have prioritized dramatic storytelling over ethical nuance, thus sacrificing sensitivity over the topic in favor of emotional appeal. A specific part of the documentary that may have disregarded the ethical boundaries was the recounting of Nanay Fedelina's mistreatment, which may have led to re-traumatization. According to the Dart Center of Journalism and Trauma 2022, poorly handled interviews with trauma survivors can do long-term psychological harm if they are not handled ethically. This stresses the importance of handling such stories with strong commitment to ethical standards.
The story of Fedelina Lugasan is not just a personal tragedy. It is a powerful reminder of the hidden injustices that persist in our world. Fedelina, A Stolen Life, sheds light on the cruel realities of human trafficking and modern slavery, urging society to confront these issues with both courage and compassion. While this documentary succeeded in raising awareness and showcasing Fedelina's resilience, it also exposed the delicate balance between storytelling and ethics. As viewers, journalists, and future professionals, we must uphold ethical responsibility not only by seeking truth but by protecting the dignity and humanity of those who entrust us with their stories. In doing so, we do more than tell a story. We become part of the fight for justice.